Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and BigGTV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
Welcome into MTCS Cougar Corner here on a Saturday morning. It's the 13th of September, week 4 of high school football in the books. 3 football games for MTCS. That seems weird, but that's all right.
Yeah. It's been it's gonna be one of those years. We'll play every time we can.
Roll with the punches. Christian Peterson here, of course, to talk football. I have to say, thanks for helping last week to get those conversations going, to get Nicole on. She was a rock star, of course, as we both knew she would be on the Coach's Show.
Absolutely. No, I was excited for her to be able to have the opportunity to come on and talk about our volleyball program. They're playing really well right now. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, well, it must have been fun to watch last night. 63 points in the win on the road at Grace Baptist?
Yeah, I thought we played well. There's still things we've got to do better, right? And we kind of talked about it after the game, right? I thought we started a little slow, but really once we kind of got into the flow of the game, I'm really proud with how our kids played. I'm proud of our young guys as they got to rotate in, and there was never a drop off. Our young guys came in on offense, we kept moving the ball, kept scoring. The young guys came in on defense, and they might have given up less yards than the ones did. They came out and, we talked about it at halftime that regardless of the score, regardless of who's in the game, the effort doesn't change, right? Like, you've got to maintain a level of effort. And I thought we did that. I thought it was fun to watch some of those guys that practice so hard, kind of get that opportunity to go out and show everybody what they can do and how well they can play. And, all those reps, a lot of times people look at it as, the game's over, it doesn't really matter. But, all of those reps matter, because at some point all of those guys are going to play for us. And so the more reps they can get now is just going to make them even better when it's their time to go be the guy. And, again, really proud of our team for handling the road trip. And, that's the first of many long ones in the year. But, again, I think, starting off the region with a win is always a good thing. And, now we got to get ready to go, and we got to have a great week of practice. Concord's a really good football team, another region opponent. And, we want to come out and try and get to 2-0 in the region this week.
So last night, I made mention of this. I try to keep the scoreboard updated so we kind of know what's going on around the county, and you guys were scoring quicker than I could even get them posted at times. And I think it was 35-0 at halftime, I believe.
Yeah.
So to score as many points as you did in the second half with a running clock, that's hard to do.
Yeah. And again, I think it goes down. It's how our kids played, is the effort they played with.
Yeah.
The only reason that happens is we forced 2 turnovers. Riley Brown makes a heck of a play, gets up, picks it off, breaks 2 tackles and runs it back for a touchdown. We follow that up. Trip Houston forces a fumble, so we end up starting on a short field. But again, like those points all happened just because of the effort that we played with, and they run a reverse on us there with our young guys in the game, and we had 3 guys sitting there ready to make the tackle. And so you could tell that they were focused, that they didn't allow the fact that maybe they didn't get as many reps as the ones in the week to affect how they played. They came out, they were ready to go, they were ready to go do their job, and I'm proud of them.
On the defensive side as well, you had another pick taken back for touchdown. Was Daniel Prosser?
Drew Prosser.
Prosser.
Drew Prosser, D lineman. And,
there was a Daniel Prosser, maybe. Never mind. Go ahead. Drew, yeah.
So, we had a stunt called. They ran a screen, and really it's a heck of a catch. It's one of those things where a lot of people don't realize how fast that ball gets on you when you're a D lineman, and makes the catch and then just gets back all the way to the end zone. And, our sideline erupts.
I bet.
When big guys score, people get real excited. And so really happy for him, and that's a big play. It's a big momentum play. And, our defense forced 5 turnovers. That helps. There was a couple times they got down close to the end zone, and there was never a panic. We were able to make some plays, had a good goal line stand, and then Trey Ewell had a good interception down in the end zone. He returned it back to about the 50. So it was fun.
We'll talk about the offensive side of the ball, because obviously you had quite a bit there as well. But when a lineman can score, that's almost like I think a safety is one of those things that can change momentum. Or, a block punt. There are certain plays that seem to just really charge up, and so that helps too when you get that on the road.
No doubt. I was proud of how excited our guys were for their teammates, right? Like, it's easy when you score a touchdown to get excited.
Yeah.
It's easy when you get a tackle for loss to be excited. But when your teammate scores and you get really excited, that's what matters. And so, all those things, I think our young guys were in, our older guys were there, and they were watching, and they were getting excited. When Cooper Ewell scores a touchdown, when Will Odom scores a touchdown, all of our guys get really excited for them. And, again, they practice really hard. They give us a good look, when they're in on offense or on defense as the 2 group. They fly around, they pay attention, and, I think it showed itself on Friday.
Yeah, Cooper had an interception last night as well. And, I mean, that's 3 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns. So when you not only can get the takeaway, but when you can score,
yeah, for
defensive
sure.
scores are huge, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, they change momentum. Again, I can't say enough about our defense. They flew around all night. The running game for Grace never really got going. And, we're able to rotate, a bunch of different D linemen in there, with Roy, with Landry, with Drew. So like interior wise, we've got 3 that are really all starters. And so we're able to just keep them fresh and make sure that we're able to keep rolling them. At D end, we've got multiple guys there that go in and play. Our linebacking group, we played a bunch of guys, and I thought they all executed well. I think they're all getting better. We look at it and go, our Mike, Eric Bowling, who's our guy at linebacker, it's really like his second year playing. We've got Cooper Jones, who's a sophomore. You've got Jackson Shoemaker, who it's his first year ever playing linebacker. Wow. Never played linebacker before. He's a senior, but he's just, he was a lineman. Mm-hmm. And, he fell in love with the weight room and, lost some weight and got to a point where he's like, well, you've got to move because you can't play on the line anymore. And he gets better every week, and then as the young guys rolled through, Will and Tripp and Riley and Kingston, we just kept putting more and more guys out there. They just kept making plays, and it's exciting for the future.
On the offensive side of the ball, I'm just going to do a little quick math here. That's why I pulled my phone out. So Shy Murphy, 6 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, both of 66 yards. That's an average of 25 yards per carry.
Yeah, that helps.
You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, he had some big ones for sure. Credit the O-line. His second one, I don't know that anyone got within 3 yards of him on the entire play. He trusted it. He hit it vertical, and then, he lets his speed kind of do the rest. Shout out to Ali. I thought he came to the game ready to play. He kind of willed us there for the first drive. Really kind of got us into our flow offensively. And then, was glad to see him hit some big ones there and kind of get rewarded for kind of how he got everybody going offensively. I thought, offensive line-wise, I thought we were really physical. We're starting 2 freshmen up front right now, and they are doing a really good job for us. They're going to be really good players. Knox Appleton and Owen Lampett. Have to watch myself and not call him Jeremiah. But both of them, they just keep getting better. Jacob Cruz, Drew Prosser, Eli Priestley, up front, I thought they all played well. Jackson Piercy at our tight end spot just keeps getting better. I thought he's one that, like, as the game got on, he kept playing better and better. And, I think you got Golden at B-back, who is probably a little undersized, but you wouldn't know it. Like, he just goes out there and gives everything he's got on every play. Our receivers didn't get involved in the pass game as much last night, but I thought they did a good job blocking. We didn't have any procedural penalties on them. And those are things that it's hard sometimes when you're a receiver and you're not necessarily getting the ball. It's hard to stay locked in and stay focused. And, when you have a receiver come over and talking about how he got a pancake, like that's fun to see.
Yeah.
Because again, like, he knows that it matters. He knows it matters for the team as a whole. And
it's like being that outfielder in baseball,
Yeah. Yeah.
It could get kind of boring out there in center field.
For sure.
Sometimes.
For sure. And, it's one of those things where, they had 3 safeties. Like, they were not going to let us throw it over their heads. They were going to try and trigger down on the run. And so, kind of based on alignment, they wanted us to run the football, so we did. And again, testament to our kids. They played really hard, and I think it showed on the scoreboard.
Ali, you mentioned he had 100 yards, so he on 8 carries, so that's 12. Almost 13. So,
yeah.
Yeah. You can have double-digit per carry stats right there. It's a pretty good deal.
For sure. He had a long one that
60 plus.
Got called out of bounds. I don't know that he was out of bounds. I think he would have scored on. But again, he just trusted where the blocks were going to be. He pressed the hole. And that's always the big one, especially with young running backs is, sometimes they have that tendency of wanting to I just want to get outside and go. Well, just get behind them, right, and check for cutback, then go outside. And, I think they're starting to see it. It's all kind of that mesh, right? And, when you've got 2 freshmen up front, 2 juniors up front, a senior with a bunch of sophomores and juniors behind them, sometimes they all just got to kind of keep working. And what we do offensively is always going to be something that just gets better as the year goes on. It's like those old double wing, triple option teams that, if you're going to play them, you want to get them week 1 or week 2 because they're just going to keep getting better. I think that's kind of similar to our offense, right? Like as they start to understand the guys in front of them and understand what they generally do, that starts to let them predict where the holes are going to be. And so
it's kind of that light bulb moment, right?
Absolutely.
And when it clicks, it clicks.
Absolutely. Again, just really excited for our guys. I thought it was, we had 2 really physical, really good weeks of practice. Kind of was able to get back to basics. We were bummed to not have a game week 3, but I think it came at a good time. It was a good reset moment. Get back to who we are, get back to what we do. I think it showed on Friday.
It can give you the opportunity to heal up some dings and dents and things like that, I'm sure too. But how did you handle the extra week? And because there's a happy medium in there somewhere, you don't want to do too much, get people hurt, but you also can't just take a full week off and not do anything, right?
Right. Yeah. For us, it was, we just need to play. Like we just, we have a lot of guys who have been in our program for a while and that have played a lot of football, but like we're still playing guys that haven't played a ton of snaps. Right. And, so for us, we had a lot more, competition periods. We had a lot more live periods. Normally in season, we're not live a ton just because we don't have the numbers, right? Like we get a rolled ankle in practice, like it affects 2 or 3 positions. But last week we really just kind of had a lot more competition periods, a lot more, go to the ground. We're live, we're going. And, I thought that helped. We carried some of that over into last week. It's about being smart with how we do it, right? We're not going to be live the whole practice, but we're going to have portions of practice that are live where we're working on specific things, whether it's 3rd and long, whether it's 4th and goal, whatever the situation is, we'll change up the situations. And then, we get as close to best on best as we can get, with our numbers right now and with who's starting, we can normally get 6, 7, sometimes 8 starters going against the other starting unit. And so, I think it's a testament to our depth. There's not a whole lot of drop-off when you go from our 1s to our 2s. We trust them all to go in and play. And, they're able to give us a really good look. Like, it's a competitive thing throughout the week. And so I think that makes us better.
Christian Peterson here with us this morning on MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Last night, winners at Grace Baptist in Chattanooga, 63-0. And it was a road trip, and that's a place I think everybody in the state playing football wants to get back to, right?
Absolutely.
So one more trip to Chattanooga at some point this season, right after Thanksgiving would be nice here. So that being a road trip, your shortest road trip, right? Or one of the shortest.
Definitely one of them. Yeah, I'm not sure that one or Salina will be one of the shorter ones, but we still got Johnson City, we still got Memphis, so we still got some long ones coming up. But I think as long as we keep the process pretty similar, I think we're going to be okay. Thought our kids handled it pretty well. And the one thing about us is like we've always had at least one, right? We've always had at least one long one every year. So for the guys that have been in the program, like, yeah, we have more this year, but like they've done it before. Mm-hmm. And so at least it's not like we were only traveling 20, 30 minutes for every game. And now all of a sudden this year, now we've got all these multi-hour travel trips. They at least know. They get excited because we eat at Cracker Barrel before the game, and so we'll get on a charter bus and eat at Cracker Barrel. So they get pumped when it's far enough for that. So they enjoy it, and they do a good job of understanding that they're business trips. We're going down there to try and win a football game, and they're also there. I think we've talked about it, but I think we're learning that Monday through Thursday is really where the game is won. Friday is just the reward of the punishment, right? Like you're either going to get rewarded for a great week of practice, or you're going to get punished because you didn't have a very good week of practice.
Yeah.
And I think our kids are learning that and figuring that out, and it's fun to watch the growth. And I think I've told them, I think by the end of the year, I don't think anyone's going to be really excited to play MTCS. No one's going to remember a game in August, right? It doesn't matter. How you're playing at the end of the year is what matters, and I think we're trending in the right direction.
Have you been able to hire a travel agent by chance?
So that's Ed Watson. All travel goes through Ed. I joke that I just ask him what time I need to be wherever I need to be, and that's where he'll be there, and he does a great job.
That's an important job. I mean, with
it
the
is.
number of road trips that you've got and putting all that together and knowing, I mean, you've got to show up at the Cracker Barrel when you say you're going to be there and things like that, right?
Absolutely. And he does a great job of that. He has all the communication. He has the buses set up. He has Cracker Barrel set up. When we get there, the kids' food's ready to go. So we're not having to get there and order and do all those things. So it makes it so much smoother, with how he does it. And, it really does take a lot off of me. And, I joke with him all the time that he's got probably, he's probably the safest person on our staff. Like he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
They could fire me tomorrow. The next guy's still going to keep Ed Watson. He knows everybody. He's got every connection, and, he does a really good job.
He's a fun guy to be around.
He is.
I don't know. I bet if you pricked him, he would bleed orange.
He does. He loves that place. There's been a Watson at MTCS. I think just about every year the school has been a school. I think maybe the first 2 years there wasn't, but since then, there has been a Watson at MTCS. We got some little Watsons running around right now, all the way down to kindergarten. But
we're talking about mid-60s here, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. And but the whole family, it's an awesome family. Lenora and sister, she comes in, she subs. Obviously Alaric, her son went through MTCS, played football. Hayes, Ed's son, went through, played football. Ed played basketball there. It's just the whole family has been involved. There's always multiple Watsons running around, and it's fun.
Ed played when they had those really short shorts in basketball, so it was not pleasant. But anyway, let's turn the page here a bit to Concord Christian. It is one of your few remaining home games, I guess. What do you have? This one and
Halloween.
One more, yeah.
That's it. That's all we got. So
got to make the most of it and get out and support here.
Absolutely. No, I think Concord's a really good football team. I think Steve Matthews has done a really good job there. They're athletic. They're big. They're going to be a good challenge for us.
Where are they?
Over near Knoxville.
Okay. So that's a road trip for next year.
Yes, that's our only long one though.
That's good.
That we get back to where we only have, at least for right now. We'll see kind of how we fill in the weeks we have open this year, next year. But as of right now, that's our only far one next year. But no, everything I've seen on them, they can go, they can run, they're athletic, they're big, they're physical. It's gonna be a challenge. I think Steve's done a really good job of preparing his guys to join region play. They're not a team that you're gonna play that's it's their first year. They don't they showed up ready to go, they're ready to play, and so we're gonna have to have a really good week of practice. I think if we have a really good week of practice, I'll take my guys over anybody. So show up Monday through Thursday and let's get to work.
So this being a region game puts a little more emphasis, I'm sure, but it's a football game, 4 quarters. I'm sure you approach that with the kids the same way. But just looking up and down the league, there's some really, really good football teams here that from your region that it would not be anybody's surprised to see them playing the first week in December in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I think all of D2A just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Right? Since since I've gotten here, I think the talent level just continues to go up and continue to get better. I mean, Jackson Christian had the receiver that was all-world. Nashville Christian right now has the number 1 quarterback in the country. You know, we had an offensive lineman go to Tennessee. You know, we've got guys on our team right now that are going to go play somewhere. Nashville Christian's running backs going to TCU. DCA tight end going to North Carolina. Like the talent level is really good, and you know, it's a challenge every week. You know, obviously the difference in A and some of the bigger ones are roster size.
Right.
But as far as the talent level goes, it just keeps getting better every year, and you know, it's fun. You know, it's fun to go out and play other good teams and play teams that have really good players. And
there's not this team that, you know, is dominating the last 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, you know? No, there's been a lot of parity. You know, Nashville Christian's trying to go and get back-to-back. It'd be the first back-to-back since I've been here. This is year 5. You know, we've had some teams go and play in it back-to-back years, but no one's won it back-to-back years. You know, and so you've had DCA win it, you've had Friendship win it, you've had us win it, you've had Nashville Christian win it. So, like, in 4 full seasons, we've had, you know, 4 different winners in A. And so I think that's always fun because you always know when the season starts, you know, roll the ball out, let's see what happens. You know, get yourself in a position where you make the postseason. And once you get into the postseason, it's a whole new year. Now it's just got to go win this one. The bracket doesn't matter, right? Who you're playing next week doesn't matter. It's just who you're playing this week, and go and win.
Be able to play next week if you focus on that one.
And
right?
So, you know, I think everybody's good enough to beat everybody. You know, you start looking around, looking at different scores, and you know, you just catch somebody on the right night, or you know, you match up better against that team than somebody else, and next thing you know, you're looking at a score going, man, like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
But you look at the next week, and then that team got beat, or that team wins, and that just got beat, and it's, you know, it's not going to be a 2-horse race, and everyone just knows it's these 2 teams. I think whoever wins each of the regions is going to have a shot, and from there, you just got to go put your best foot forward and go play in the postseason. Sometimes
it's who carries that momentum from week to week and gets better and better, and you know, then it just becomes this snowball that is headed downhill. It's hard to stop.
For sure.
And hopefully that's your MTCS Cougars at home. So get out, come hungry, buy concessions. All of this stuff makes the road trips possible. I mean, you got to have that program money there for sure. So some other things going on at MTCS this week, a few things to take a look at. You got some cross country going on today and this weekend. Next week, middle school tennis, girls and boys tennis, taking on PCA. And you've got 5th and 6th grade football on the 15th. Playing DCA. I believe that one is a road game. But anyway, just a few other things. Volleyball taking on Donaldson Christian this week as well. Soccer going on. Fall is a really busy time, and a lot of other sports going on. You know, it's just, I know you're kind of focused in with what's going on with your football team, but there's something going on campus every afternoon, just about every night.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's always something going on. And then this week's also homecoming. And then we got Fall Festival on Saturday. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of events and a lot of outside things happening. You know, and we'll tell our guys the same thing we always tell them. It's like, look, enjoy it. Okay, you get 4 years of high school. Right, like I'm not the guy that says don't do anything in homecoming. Like, no, like, go have fun, but understand that we've got to prepare for a game on Friday night, right? Like, all of this is fun, but there's gonna be a whole lot of people at our game on Friday that we got to be ready for. And so, up until practice, enjoy it. Enjoy all the homecoming festivities and all of the things that we do. You know, I think the homecoming week, I think MTCS does it fantastic. Like, I think it's great. But we've got to make sure that we're locked in and we're ready to go and ready to go play football on Friday.
Middle school is playing PCA too, so we've got lots of things to enjoy and get after. And, of course, next Friday night. And is that 7 or 7:30?
That one will be 7.
7.
Yep.
because of homecoming and all that stuff.
Well, so our region, anytime an Eastern time zone team comes into Central, we'll play at 7. Anytime a Central time zone team goes to Eastern, we'll play at 7:30 Eastern, because that gives the Central time zone a little bit more time to get there.
Yeah, and
then it gives the Eastern time zone a little bit more time to get home. And so, just kind of trying to make it as easy on us as we can. It's one of those things as coaches, we kind of sat down and said, all right, how do we make it to where it's easiest on all of us? If it's not the most ideal of circumstances, but this is what we got. Let's roll with it and see what we can do.
Need a travel agent for that. So,
for sure.
Christian, as always, appreciate you coming in and after a road trip and all. So, congrats on the win last night at Grace Baptist.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Want to thank all of our coaches who made their way in this morning for the Coaches Show. And, of course, John Dinkins, Danny Brewer. Our producer has been Dalton Barrett. That is it for our coaches' conversation today. We will have Middle Tennessee football coming up later this afternoon as they take on Nevada on the road. So hope you'll tune in for that. And back here next Saturday morning for another edition of MTCS Cougar Corner.